Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Three Guys Walking to Culinary School. We missed you guys last week, took a week off, but we're happy to be back. Tim, Brian, how are you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing
Good,
good.
good. Thank God, man. Doing good, doing well. Happy to be back, happy to be recording.
Absolutely.
That last episode we had was episode 10, which was a milestone for the podcast. So, double digits now. Now we work towards triple digits. Might take a little longer, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
10 episodes that's a big deal.
Yeah, 10 episodes is pretty good. It's a nice little milestone, stepping stone. So we'll shoot for 50 and maybe 25, 50, 100, and we'll keep celebrating the little wins as they keep coming.
Nice.
But I want to thank you guys all for listening and watching on YouTube. You guys really make it fun, and we hope we're teaching you guys stuff. We hope we're entertaining you guys. And again, reach out to our Instagram, email, comment on YouTube or on the podcasts, Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. We'd be more than happy to take questions, take your topic recommendations, and we'll go from there. But Tim, I think we recently did a little football snack draft. I think I won. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I think my team won. Looking back, my team was kind of weak. Like my real fantasy football draft, I looked better in the moment, and looking back, putting everything together, a little sloppy. But we're full-fledged into fall now, right? Summer's over.
Yeah.
Long sleeves are out. Winter coats are out. Not winter coats.
I don't know about that. I was just telling Tim, I'm looking at the forecast, and we're still in the 80s for the rest of the month. Which is unfortunate.
We had the nicest fall week where I'm at. It was like mid-70s. It was supposed to be in the 80s, but never got past 75.
Mm.
There was zero humidity. Our evening walks at 6 o'clock were crisp. It was just beautiful. We were ready for fall.
Nice.
But then, and then you'll get a day that's 85 sneaks in there, and that's second summer, as NYC memes call it.
Yeah.
So it fluctuates, but I'm excited that fall is coming, and I think. I'm sorry, Tim.
No, me too, man. I'm ready to put on a flannel.
Is that that's awesome? And your overalls, or is overalls all year long? Is that
overalls will come out more? They'll be more predominant in the fall.
I love it, man. Is that your favorite season? I feel like fall's a good one.
Oh,
man.
Absolutely.
There's
all
so
into
much
fall.
happening.
Yeah, I love fall.
Fall. So many activities, family-wise, personal. Football. Obviously, we keep mentioning that.
Yeah,
it's a great milestone marker of where we're at in the year. All right, we got 4 months left in the year, and fall's here. And I think, Tim, we were kind of having a conversation where you are hating on pumpkin spice.
I do. I'm not a fan.
So is it pumpkin, or is it the combination of the spices involved?
So I think it is more. I think it is more the spice. I think we, the mulling spice, the pumpkin pie spice is kind of too much for me. And I personally feel that, pumpkin spice is not the number one fall flavor.
Overrated.
I think it's completely overrated.
Damn. Yeah. You too, bro? You agree?
I agree. I think we need something new. I think we got to switch it up.
Let's go basic, because I'm definitely the basic one in the podcast here. I'm the basic B of the podcast. Pumpkin spice lattes. Are you going to drink one?
No.
You're not even one. Just to say oh, it's nice. This is get in that toasty, warm, cozy.
No, that's what black coffee is for.
Wow, man, you guys are harsh. Okay, real quick before I ask you, actually, I want to guess what you think. What I think is your number one flavor. But before I get into that, pumpkin pie. Are you a fan of that, Tim? No. Brian, you too?
Sweet potato.
So okay, listen.
Yeah.
Okay, so sweet potato pie on the pie level, right? It's a superior pie. It's an all year round pie. But I feel like pumpkin pie, fall, Thanksgiving, and of course, I do my flavors based on holidays. I think pumpkin pie is a staple. And don't get me wrong, I think sweet potato pie is a better tasting pie. I think, again, it's more versatile all year round. Summer barbecue, spring, whatever you want to eat it. I think pumpkin pie, though, I guess it's like a pumpkin spice latte. It's just
if we're talking pie, I don't want to derail us, but
No,
like,
I like
apple pie is a top tier pie, right?
Oh,
Like
blueberry pie. Come on.
I like a berry pie, and
over an apple pie,
some
vanilla ice cream.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man,
Oh,
You
come on.
know
You
why?
haven't.
Because blueberry pies you can just scoop into, and it's you get a perfect scoop every time. Apple pie you might get like too much apple coming out, and there's one hanging, the whole thing falls over. It's too much. It's too much work to enjoy it. And
Find
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
find yourself a blackberry crumb.
Yeah, or a mixed
That's a
berry
pie.
crumb, or a mixed berry crumb. There's a farm by me that does mixed berry crumb. Jesus Christ! 10 years ago, I never thought I'd be saying that. There's a farm by me that does a great mixed berry pie. But in general, someone said this. I think I forget who it was. Said warm fruit gives him the yuck, and I'm just like, oh, I
in
could see,
general,
I could see that, like warm fruit being a little like,
yeah,
because I do like
yeah.
the custard pie, like I do like pumpkin pie. Again, during the season, I do
Yeah.
love sweet potato pie. I mean, coconut custard's good. I do love. I don't know where pecan pie falls into that, but
Oh
that's
yeah.
a good pie.
Love me a
That's a
pecan
great
pie.
pie. That's
Yeah.
super sweet, but that's so good. But okay, so I'm gonna guess, and Brad, join me here if you want. Tim, your favorite fall flavor is maple glazed ham. Is ham your flavor of the
Ham is
fall?
ham. No, I actually I don't like ham.
You know, like, oh my god, dude, you don't like ham?
I don't. It gives me a headache. I can only eat fresh ham.
Okay, wait, like a holiday ham. Is that considered fresh ham? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll eat that, but not like sliced ham. But I mean like a maple glazed,
Like a honey
No,
baked
not like
ham.
one of
honey
Or,
those
baked.
like
Thank you.
yeah.
not like one of those pink canned hams. No, get that out of
No,
here.
no, that sounds gross. Pink canned hams. I don't even know ham comes in cans.
Yeah.
Now we sound like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so it's not him. Okay, that was my first guess, and kind of obviously in jest. But Bri, you can guess next, and I think I know it, to be honest. I
Yeah,
think I know you well enough.
I'm gonna say apple. I already threw apple pie in the mix. I'm gonna say apple.
Pie. That's
Yeah,
a good
man.
one.
100%.
I said
Apple is where
apple.
it's at.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna be specific and say like first I was gonna say apple cider, but then I was thinking maybe
Oh,
apple cinnamon, like those donuts. But it's all the same boat,
it's
right?
all pipes, Jerry.
Okay, so so apple is the winner of fall.
Oh, absolutely.
I like how apple eases us into fall too. Like apple picking. Those apple cider donuts are banging. Amazing donuts.
Yeah.
And it kind of like starts off the fall season when it comes to like foods and flavors for me.
I don't know. I think we need a new flavor. We gotta figure something out.
You think apple's kind of
Yeah, because when you think about apple, right? Apple is usually paired with like cinnamon or some kind of spice, right? Which can very easily overpower the apple flavor. Pumpkin, pumpkin is always paired with the spice because pumpkin by itself. Who eats pumpkin by itself? Babies and dogs. Like no one eats pumpkin.
The
like,
squirrels in my front yard.
Plain pumpkin, right?
Like jack-o'-lanterns, yeah. That's fucking
We need something else, but that doesn't have the spice.
See, that's the thing. Is that the connection? Like, is it just the spice? Is it the same spice? I guess it could be.
I think it is the same spice.
I think they're very similar.
You think they're very similar,
but
right?
But
you like the apple combination better.
You know what those spices remind me of? When this time of year, you walk into the grocery store and they have that bag of pine cones sitting there.
That generic cinnamon.
Yeah. That's what. Maybe that's why I can't wrap my head around it, because that's what I think of.
Everything's pumpkin spice nowadays.
Yeah, right? Every candle in Bath and Body Works is
100%. Every you go walk down an aisle of the supermarket, it's all pumpkin spice, coffees, snacks. Just everything could is overdone with pumpkin spice. I do like apple pie, apple spice.
I think I think it's always I think this is my issue. It's always and spice or pumpkin spice, apple spice.
Yeah.
I think we need to take the spice out of it and lean into the sweetness of an apple.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard. Let's take the spice out of things. I thought usually you add the spice into things, but okay.
No, think of like a red candy apple.
Oh, we're talking about food still.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
There's nothing better, or like a caramel apple.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Caramel apples. Yeah. That's a great point. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we used to bring in fall. It's like the beginning of the school season. We would have these fundraisers where we sold taffy apples, and the taffy apple it's a brand. Yeah, it's a brand of caramel apple, but it's basically dipped in caramel and covered in peanuts. And you sell them they come in like a case of 6, right? We would sell them, I think, for like $10 a case. But that was always our fall fundraiser, taffy apples. That should be the new fall flavor. Caramel, apple, peanut. Yes.
I love the salty. I like the salty on top. I love the salty on top.
Yeah.
You said taffy apples, right?
Taffy apple, yeah. I think the actual brand is Affy Tapple, but we call them taffy apple.
I like that. Affy Tapple. All right, I'm gonna check that out. So Tim, you have your farm. We've mentioned it before. You've got some acreage out there.
Yeah.
In the wilderness where you live. Do you grow apples?
I don't grow apples, but I do have a pumpkin patch.
You do have a pumpkin patch. That's great. You planted that yourself, or did that just kind of happen by like chucking some dead pumpkins into the woods?
So yeah, that basically. I think my son came home with a package of pumpkin seeds from something.
Yeah.
And we just went in the backyard and just kind of threw them into the yard, into the soil, and then
that's awesome.
This year they just kind of started to magically appear.
That's great. That's a cool story, man.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
Send some pictures. I'd love to see that. My mom, God bless her, she is not the Susie homemaker she makes herself out to be. So she never cleaned up her pumpkins one year. She had like 3 or 4 jack-o'-lanterns. They weren't even carved. They were just whole pumpkins. And they kind of just rotted into the dirt. And she lives in a community, with HOA and all that. And her side of the house had just all the vines of the pumpkins. And my nephew grew 7 full-size pumpkins out of them.
Nice.
And there's like random, just by letting the pumpkins decompose. And she said, you know what, we're going to do it again this year and we'll get even more pumpkins. And she only had 1 the next year. But that first year she had like 7 full-grown pumpkins.
Oh, wow.
I gave him $20 for a pumpkin. It was really cool. But that's cool that you guys are growing pumpkins on the farm there. Do you so I know you make cider, or do you go to a place to do it, or
no,
how does that work?
I make my own cider on the farm. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's one of the best things we do around here all year.
That's cool.
I'm surrounded by a bunch of apple orchards. We're very lucky. I go over there, I buy what's called deer apples, which are basically the apples that tend to drop off of the trees. And the farmers come and they just kind of clean them up off the ground. I buy those. I usually get them somewhere between like $15-$20 for a 50-pound bag.
Oh, damn.
And
sounds great.
I'll cut out some of the brown spots and stuff or whatever, and put it through the press, and we make some beautiful apple cider.
That's cool. I'd love to see that process too. That sounds like a lot of fun.
We do a little party here at the farm every year. We do a little apple cider fest.
Very cool.
Invite our friends over, tell everybody to bring a container, and hopefully they go home with some cider.
That's awesome. Are you putting like a little hose and like funneling straight from the tap? You guys going crazy, a little rager?
Yeah, after everyone goes home.
Have you ever tried fermenting it?
I never have.
I think about it, like making a hard cider. Is that how you would do it? I guess so.
Yeah, I dabble with the idea every year, but I've never done it.
Maybe like a little gallon jug just to see.
See what happens.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Brad, do you guys do any pumpkin activities? I'm sorry, apple activities. Do you use apple picking and all that stuff? Is that your speed, or?
No, I mean we have a ton of apple picking orchards here in the Midwest. It's not my favorite thing to do. To me, it just kind of, you go out there, you climb a ladder, you pick a couple little small apples that aren't really that delicious, and then you overpay for them. I just go to the grocery store and get my apples. Yeah,
that's the part that kills me, the overpaying for it. I mean, I don't even have a ladder. It's usually me trying to shake something like a branch or something, or reaching as high as I can to grab a nice juicy looking apple.
Yeah.
My thing is like you said, Bri, like fall sneaks in, and then out of nowhere you have a day of summer where it knocks you out. And it's usually whenever my wife and I plan to go apple picking.
Oh man!
It's the day we all wear our flannels.
Your flannels and your down vest.
Like I sweat in a swimming pool in the summer. Like that's how much I sweat. So like I'm wearing I'm wearing
your Timbs on.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like 87. My black jeans, and it's 87 degrees, and it's just so hot and unbearable for me.
Yeah.
But photos look cute. Photos look cute. Memories are good.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you guys have a favorite apple?
Yes, there's no doubt about it.
What is your go-to apple?
I can go first, and I can probably take too much time on this. I'll say until I was about 20, it was Macintosh. Maybe I was young, inexperienced, but it was juicy and delicious. then I think it might have been Empire or Gala. I don't remember, which is not great now. I'm not a big fan of. I do love a Honeycrisp. I don't know if they're new. Those are trendy apples.
They're trendy,
Yeah.
very trendy.
They're
Yeah, they're
expensive
pricey.
as
Yeah,
fuck. Yeah, exactly. And then you get the organic one for your kid, and it's like 50% more expensive. But it is a delicious apple. I think it's like perfect consistency, texture, the juice, the flavor. I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, but
nice. What about you, Brian?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for me, I think growing up, we probably had, I think Gala, they weren't great. They were just the cheap apples that my mom would buy at the grocery store. I do love a Honeycrisp, although it's a little bit too rich for my blood. So
it is.
I go to the Pink Lady. I actually like the Pink Lady apples.
I've never had a Pink Lady.
Yeah, I don't know if they're, it sounds like one of those new ones too, right next to Honeycrisp. It's a little bit less expensive. It's not as sweet, but still the texture is good. A little bit juicy.
I see them in the market all the time. I got to check it out.
Yeah, I go with the Pink Lady.
Yeah. I got to go with the Wine Sap.
Wow, I've never heard that.
That's fancy.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful apple. You don't see them in the store that much. It's more of you gotta find it at like a farm stand. Something like that. But
you're by the orchards, you said, right?
Yeah.
So, nice.
I have seen them at Shady Maple Farmers Market in Pennsylvania. That was where the first time I ever had it, and I still remember it to this day. It was one of the best apples I ever had.
Oh wow!
It just, the apple itself tasted like a candy apple. Like it was just.
Oh wow! Wine Sap.
It was so good.
It's crazy how they come out with like apple varietals and like all these fruits, and they can like hybrid these apples. It's crazy. It's crazy how that science works.
I wish we had a producer, because I forget what the number is, but it always shocks me the number of varieties there are of apples. It's in like I believe it's in like the 200s.
Yeah, we do have a producer. It's called Google. Where's my phone? I can't find it, but I'll look it up. We'll find out. It's in the hundreds. Yeah, I'm sure hundreds. Absolutely. Yeah. I found out recently through a podcast that there are, oh man, is it lettuce or is it celery? There's like dozens, if not hundreds, of varietals of celery. There used to be, and like white celery 100 years ago was a delicacy, and it was like something next to caviar in a menu back in the day. Yeah, and now it's kind of evolved into this green celery, watery, stringy thing that we're just all used to and don't really care for anymore, outside of the side of a buffalo wing platter. But like there's still varietals. They're just not popular, and they try to farm them and try to mass produce them. They just can't do it. But I'm curious how many apples there are. I'm curious.
Well, I'm calling it now, you guys. The official fall flavor of Three Guys Wicks podcast is apple.
That's it.
We're kicking pumpkin spice to the curb.
Baby. See you later, PSL.
It's about time.
Sorry, Starbucks. You coming out with your PSLs, your pumpkin spice lattes in July. 4th of July pumpkin spice lattes. We don't need that.
We don't need it.
Yeah. What's a good candy apple? I think Macintosh might be a good one. Or maybe that's just what I'm used to.
No, usually you want to use
like a drier one.
What's the green apple? The
Granny Smith.
Oh, the Granny Smith.
Granny Smith. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's this is making me want to take a trip. There's a place in Warwick called the Candy Apple Shop, and they make beautiful.
Is that in Jersey or is that in New York?
New York.
New York.
Sorry, New York. Yeah. I might have to make a trip, and I'll snap some photos.
The candy shop, you said?
It's the Candy Apple Shop.
Candy Apple Shop, and then. Affy Tapple. Okay, these are things I have to check, and I'm sure they deliver. So maybe we'll order some for the podcast. But that's cool. That's cool. Check it out. So apples, that's it. It's the official season flavor of the fall season. Excuse me.
You can do it with chocolate and caramel, but I've always wanted to try to figure out a way that you could candy coat slices of apple. But I'm assuming it won't work because of the skin.
I see the moisture. It won't stick to the moisture, or a little rot faster, kind of.
Because I like to cut my candy apple up and slice it up.
Yeah, and enjoy it. I think it's the best way to do it. I think it's the best way because you'll get the most, apple to coating ratio, like a proper one,
Yeah.
Where you're not just biting the skin off and then you're done with, just flesh afterwards.
Yeah, here you guys go. Affy Tapple, they definitely deliver $29.99 for a case of 24.
Oh, damn.
Case of 24.
That's great.
Yeah. You got to eat it quick.
That's a great price. Yeah.
That's a lot of apples.
Yeah. I hope you have a friend that's a dentist because you're going to need that after 24 apples. That's great. That's pretty cool, actually. I would check that out. My gosh, man. I mean, you guys cook with apples at home outside of apple pie? What can you do? I mean,
I don't cook a
dessert
lot with apples.
wise,
No.
I've done I've done the candy apples at home because I thought it would be fun, and I just wasn't near candy apples or a stand or something where I can buy it. So I've done that. I've done the caramel apples, and I've made a couple of pies, but that's about it, right? I guess you can like, Tim, you're a pancake guy. Would you make like a pancake topping?
Oh,
Like a
absolutely.
little
Not so much. I do it with French toast all the time.
French toast. That makes
You
more
know,
sense.
I slice
Yeah,
up the apples, put them in the pot, some brown sugar,
yeah.
kind of just let them cook down.
Some
Makes
spice, some pumpkin spice minus the pumpkin.
and
Spices. Yeah.
one of my favorite dishes, a little more of a wintry dish, but I like to take a pork loin,
Yeah.
roll that around in some brown sugar, um, sear it in the pan on all sides,
Mm-hmm.
then throw it in the crock pot, slice up some apples,
Mm-hmm.
throw in a bag of sauerkraut, and just put it in the slow cooker for like 8 hours on low,
Mm.
and just let the pork loin fall apart and
Yeah.
mix. It's wonderful.
That sounds good. Yeah, that's the couple I was trying to think. Where does apple couple up with the best? And I think pork, right?
Yeah.
Apple sauce and pork.
Yeah.
Apple sauce and pork.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't think I've ever cooked like a savory pork dish. Now that I think about it, but again, I've made pies. But you said it's more of a wintry dish. Do you guys? And this is something I tend to do. Do you guys find that your fall flavors are really like, for me at least, I feel like my fall flavors are Thanksgiving flavors. Like that's because we're leading up to that holiday. And then, when Thanksgiving's over, I don't want a pumpkin pie, but I feel like, Christmas flavors are more chocolatey and like minty based. I feel like that's more of a Christmas experience. And then you have your peppermint candy cane. I guess that's what it is. It's the candy cane the childish soul inside of my body. That's like, oh, I want a candy cane. This is what Christmas tastes like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is. It's more seasonal. But I do like a maple glazed ham. I don't know, Tim. And the ham in a can. I've never had before. I've seen it now that I remember. I remember what you're talking about. It's that weird little, like almost egg shaped thing, but it's a little wider on the bottom. Okay, I've never had that, but like a nice maple glazed ham is good, man.
Like those kind of hams. I don't know what it is. For whatever reason, they give me a headache.
Jeez. All right. So no ham cold cuts either.
No.
No.
Unless it's on like an Italian hero or there's other stuff on it and it's mixing in with the other cold cuts, then it's fine, but not a straight ham sandwich. That's not happening.
We're gonna start making a list of things you don't like that I feel like Gen Pop America loves. I mean, ham. Come on, ham. Melty cheese from a squirt bottle.
I'm complicated.
There's got to be more. You're not complicated. You're
well, tamarind I know is one. That's one I'll never forget.
Tamarind that's nothing to do with the flavor. That's PTSD. That's straight up emotional damage from fucking culinary school. Because Tim had to. I mean, Tim, tell the story. I don't know how long.
I don't even think I can tell the story. I think I need one of you guys to tell it.
Just one of those things you just wake up and your hands are covered in tamarind smell and oh my gosh, Tim, I forgot what we were making, but in culinary school we were broken down in stations. I think this was Matu. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And Tim's team, or just Tim, got assigned cleaning tamarind for like 3 hours, right? Like for the whole length of the class. And I've never seen Tim so distraught after a class.
He was so disgusted.
He was so disgusted, but depressed too. He's just like, he's like, this is the worst day. I think you literally audibly said this is the worst day of culinary school. Like I don't remember. Is there a smell to it? I don't want to bring up any gag reflexes.
I think that was part of it. I also just I remember it just being very messy.
Yeah, it was messy. Yeah. I think the process. I think you were using like a mill or something to push it through. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because you were cleaning it and then processing it, and it was just like for 3 hours long. And tamarind's not your stuff. Tamarind's not your jam.
Culinary school's not all glamour and glitz. You know what I mean?
It's not. It's not all. Yeah, it's not all candy apples. It's there's some tamarind and ham involved. So some bad days, but. No, I don't want to keep bringing that up, but that's so funny. I forget about that. I totally forgot about that.
It's added to the list.
Yeah, added to the list.
Do you get now? Speaking more on apples, hot apple cider or cold apple cider?
I'm a cold drink guy in general. I will probably take a cold apple cider. Like ice cold. Like it's like so good. It's so refreshing. Apple juice in general, like as much sugar as in the Mott's and everything, or in those little Martinelli glass jars. Ice cold apple juice might be one of the best drinks ever. And I might even drop cherry Coke from my football draft and put ice cold apple juice because it's so tasty. It's so tasty, in my opinion.
What about you, Brian?
I'm trying to remember a time that I've had hot apple cider. I can't think of a time that I've had hot apple cider. Not that I've even ever wanted to have hot apple cider. Like
I've tried it, but again, it's another thing where they add the spice to it, the cinnamon and the other thing, and
just give me a hot coffee and a cold apple cider.
I do remember going like apple picking specifically, and then buying cider. And then, like, you walk into the store where you're buying the apple cider donuts, which are fantastic. I think my wife's
the best part about apple picking.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like, a jug of cider. I'm like, oh, they were warming it up there. So I'm like, oh, we'll go home. You throw in some cinnamon sticks, maybe a couple of cloves in there, warm it up. But no, it's not good. It's not the same.
No, it's not good. Yeah, just I don't like drink it with some ice.
Yeah, drink it with some ice. Again, warm fruit juices, that don't make sense.
No. Yeah, would you drink warm grape juice or?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Would you
drink a hot lemonade?
Yeah. You microwave your orange juice before you drink it.
If you're lucky, if you're ever at an apple orchard or anything, and they have cherry apple cider.
Oh my God, I've never heard that.
That
sounds
is
amazing.
Treat.
See, that's a crossover that will never become like mainstream because the seasons are too far off. I feel, unless you freeze the cherries. But that sounds amazing. I've never had that. Also, cherries might be my favorite fruit.
Cherry is the best you pick fruit experience. If you've ever done it,
sounds like an oxymoron.
I've never done it.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a good you pick experience because it's already picked for me in the fucking market and it's cheaper.
It's cherry, baby.
I get what you're saying. Cherry. How do you pick cherries?
You
drive the tractor.
So you take your 2 fingers, you put it on the cherry, and then you pull. It comes right off the tree.
Sounds ridiculous. Sounds like a ridiculous concept that I'm going to be pulling 5,000 cherries off a tree, or at least 100 to fill a bag.
All
Too much work. Can I shake it or like use a rake? Get a bunch.
Next cherry season, we're going to do live cherry picking episode.
Where are we going to Michigan? Because I hear that's like the cherry capital of the world.
Right here in Jersey, baby.
Oh my gosh, is there Jersey cherries? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were all about like tomatoes and what's the big one?
Race Farm in Blairstown. Great cherry picking.
All right, cherry picking in Jersey. Look at that.
Do you guys want to hear something crazy? Did you guys hear about the woman they found dead in the bathtub of milk?
Oh, I know where we are. I know where we are on the episode right now.
You guys hear about that?
She was.
They suspect a serial killer.
No, God, Tim. All right, everybody. On that note, Tim's telling us it's time to say goodbye. Please follow us, comment on our socials on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. It's at 3 Guys Wicks, at the number 3 GUYSWICS 3 Guys Wicks. Email us, same thing, at gmail.com. We want to hear from you guys. Please comment, subscribe. Give us 5 stars if you're feeling generous. Give us 5 stars if you're not feeling generous. That always feels nice. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys, and thank you guys for listening again. Catch you next time on the next episode.
Yeah, go buy some apples.
Right.
Go buy some apples. It's apple season. It's officially apple season.
All right.
Says 3 Guys Podcast.
That's right.
Cheers. Pumpkin spice.